Hi, welcome to this essentials practice. It's called standing crane, and in the way cranes stand on one foot, I looked it up, they stand on one foot so they can bring the other one up near their body and warm themselves up, and they switch, so it's like a warming practice for them. This will be a little bit of a warming practice for us as well, and in particular, we'll warm up the eyes, the arms, and the feet in preparation for single-legged standing practices. So let's begin. Feel free to have a comfortable seat, and we're going to do some eye work to begin with our fingers interlaced and our palms pressing up toward the ceiling. So you can press the palms up, draw your shoulder blades into the back, and then engage your side waists and lift. So this side body work is good for balancing, and while we're pressing up and breathing, you're going to take your eyes to the left. So the head stays still on this one, and the eyes go to the left, like you're looking at your left ear on inhale. And then as you exhale, relax them back to center. And your eyes go to the right, as if you're looking at your right ear. And then exhale, come back to center. And go back and forth like this a few times. Inhale as you look at one ear, or try to. Exhale as you relax your eyes to center. Inhale as you look at your other ear. Exhale as you go back to center. So this helps warm up our eyes, gives us a more expansive sense of vision, which helps our balance. And of course, lengthening through the side bodies as well also give us a sense of where we are in space. So a couple more breaths here. And then once you look at your second ear on inhale, you can release your hands from above. Exhale, release, take a couple shoulder blade rolls in one direction, shoulder blade rolls in the other direction. And from a cross-legged seat, so we got the upper lateral line. Now let's get the outer hips and outer legs. With one leg in front, slide your sitting bones back and reach your arms forward. Okay. This is option number one here, to reach your arms forward like this. Option number two, if it's okay for your shoulders and you're able to clasp your hands behind you, you can do that, draw your shoulder blades in, and send your lungs forward. So you can try this. This is a bit more of a warmer. It's a heat builder. All right. If this doesn't work for either knees, hips, or shoulders, you can stay here. Okay. So 2 more breaths here. Deep breath in. Take a big exhale. And take a deep breath in. Okay, great. Come back up and lean back. Switch the lacing of your legs. You can lean forward here as well. Breathe in the back body. If you'd like, interlace your fingers. You can switch the lacing of your fingers behind you so your other thumb is on top. So it's like the weird way you hold your hands, and you draw your shoulder blades into the back. So several breaths here. Big inhale, big exhale, deep breath in, exhale. All right, and one last breath in here. Okay. Come back up, and 2 hands and knees. And with the toes curled under, so another part of balancing is our ability for our feet to sense the floor. So in order to do that, we're going to stretch out the plantar fascia. You can add as much or as little weight on your toes as you'd like. Okay, so if sitting back doesn't work for your knees or toes as much, you stay on hands and knees. You still press the toes down a little bit. Okay, so anywhere from hands and knees all the way up to upright is fine by me. And regardless of where you are, press the toes down so you get some more feedback from the feet. A couple breaths here. Big inhale, big exhale, and twice more. Inhale, exhale. And one last time, take a deep breath in. And if you're sitting back, you come forward from hands and knees, lift your thighs back into downward facing dog. All right, so drive your hands through the floor, lift your thighs back. And we're going to take a couple deep breaths here. You can relax your head. And take your thighs back, press your heels back as well. And there's 2 more breaths here, trying to lengthen it through the side bodies, lengthen through side waist and side ribs. All right, and then you can step your feet a little closer together and press one foot through the floor, whether your heel's down or not, that's fine. But one foot stays down, the other heel presses straight back, and maybe even slightly up, so there's a one-legged dog here. So 2 breaths on this side, big inhale, big exhale. And 1 last time. Okay, and then you replace that foot on the floor and we'll switch it out for the other one. So 1 foot presses down, the other heel presses back. So this is for a greater stretch around the calf. You get our back body warmed up, and then get the side waist, the side ribs nice and long. Drive the heel back so the legs come to life. And then from there, take both feet to the floor, bend your knees, step up to the top of your mat. Inhale, come halfway up, you can look forward, take a deep breath in. Exhale, round, and then come all the way up to standing. Arms sweep up overhead. Interlace your fingers and press your palms up like this. Good. So you're driving your feet down, lifting your palms up. And with your palms up high, to get one more stretch along the outer bodies, the lateral lines, you're going to press both feet down, lift your lungs, and then tilt your torso in one direction so that the hips can go in the opposite direction of opposite the lungs. So you press the palms up, press your feet down, press the hips to one side, breathe into the stretch, and then you come back to center and do the same thing on the other side. So you press your feet down, press your palms up, and press your hips out to the side. Breathe into the stretch. Okay, great. And you come out of that, release, step your feet a little closer together if you can, and bend your knees, drive your feet through the floor. And once again, if you'd like to interlace your fingers and press up, you can do that. If you did this earlier, you can interlace your fingers behind you and take your arms back as well. So just like the options in cross-legged forward fold are the same options here with your arms, okay? But drive your feet through the floor. You can lift your toes, spread your toes, place your toes back down, and then drive your feet through the floor, warming up the legs. So really feel like we are warm-blooded creatures like the crane. So we're warming up the legs 2 more times. Take a deep breath in, take a big exhale, and 1 last time, and you press your hips forward, come up to mountain pose. Okay, great. So we are going to explore single-legged balance practices. If you need a wall space, go ahead and just you can always practice any and all of these with like 1 finger against the wall for the variations we're going to do, okay? Either that or a heavy piece of furniture. That always works as well. Okay, but the first one, tree pose. So I'm going to mirror you. So you're going to shift your weight onto your right foot. I'm shifting my weight onto my left. But you're shifting your weight onto your right foot. Drive that foot down. So really feel the contact with your right foot through the floor. Lift your lungs. And from here, once all the weight's in your right foot, you can either turn your left knee out and keep your toes down, or you can take your foot onto calf area, or you can bring it up to your thigh. And just don't press the heel directly into your knee, and you're fine, okay? So a couple more breaths here. Yogi's choice on arms. You could keep them down at your hips, arms out to sides, or arms overhead. Okay? Now, don't forget to breathe here. Find a gaze point in front of you that facilitates your balance. 2 more times. Take a deep breath in. Big exhale. Notice the focus required to maintain the balance. Notice the ankle work on your standing foot. And then point your left knee forward. Come back to mountain pose. Drive both feet through the ground. Keep the length of your lungs. And then we're going to shift our weight over to the left foot. So you drive your left foot through the floor. Feel the weight transfer into left foot. And once you feel all that weight, you can then take one of your options in your right leg. Turn the knee out to the side with your toes on the floor still. Or take the sole of the foot to your inner shin, or take the sole of the foot to your inner thigh. Okay, as you're driving the foot down, you're lifting your lungs up. Take your hands to either hips, arms out to side is another way to balance, and arms up overhead. Okay, and for this particular tree, you're using your eyes to help facilitate the balance. So you visually, the gaze, the drishti, helps the balance. So 2 more breaths here. Take a big inhale. Take a big exhale. And 1 last time. Okay, and then you point your right knee forward, come back All right, great. We're gonna try tree one more time before we do some other single-legged balances. Transfer the weight into the right foot. Take whatever option you want with your left leg. Arms, do whatever option you'd like. And from here, as a balance challenge, you're gonna keep your foot rooted. And from here, you can either A, just like you're looking at one ear, take your eyes to one side and come back to center. And do the same thing on the other side, and notice how much of a challenge that can present. Also, if you'd like to turn your head, you can do that too. So, if you feel rather capable on standing on one leg, you might want to try both. So keep the head still, just turn eyes. And the other option is to turn the entire head. Okay. And we're almost done with standing on this leg. On your next exhale, bring both feet to the floor. Nice, onto the other side. Drive your foot down. Left foot drives down. Toes either stay on the floor or onto inner shin or onto inner thigh. Okay? And if your drishti, your gaze point, feels like it's absolutely necessary to stay up, this is enough of a challenge, you stay here. If it's available, you explore either A, just turning your eyes into there, so like you're looking at one ear. And this side's a little more difficult for me. One side might be more difficult for you too. All right, so you can either move your eyes, or if it's available, you turn your head to the side. You come back to center there. Okay. Yeah, and just notice how as soon as your visual field changes, you need to rely on the sense of where your body is in space a lot more. So, in a sense, we're like purposely confusing our multiple senses of balance. Okay, very nice. All right, and then you come back to center, release, take both feet onto the floor. All right, and we're sitting down into chair again. So from here, you're going to take palms to heart center, and we're going to twist to the right. So either elbow to the inside of your left thigh or to the outside of your right thigh. Inhale here, exhale, roll your navel to the right and up. So you're going to roll the navel up. Drive your feet through the floor, feel the warmth of the body as you're in this pose. One more breath on this side. Take a big inhale, take a big exhale, and one last time. Okay, come out of that, lengthen through lungs, and then either right elbow to the inside of your right leg or to the outside of your left, and let's all twist to the left. And there's several breaths here. Take a huge inhale, big exhale. 3 more breaths. Inhale. Big exhale. Breath in. Exhale. You can use your last inhale to derotate. Press your hips forward to come up to standing. All right, so legs should feel rather warmed up. You're going to shift your weight onto your right foot. And from here, instead of taking tree pose, you can either just lift your left knee up, or if you'd like to, hug your knee in. All right, so we're here, and you can either stay here, lifting your lungs, or if you'd like, you can take a chair pose with your right leg, your standing leg. You bend the knee a little, and then you come back up. Now, most of us are not going to get into a single-legged chair as deep as we get into a double-legged chair. Of course, aside from balance, the weight's, like the leg is taking double the weight. But explore this. You're going to bend and straighten your standing leg 2 or 3 more times. And notice the hips work a lot more. The foot's going to have to work a lot more. So balance even through movement. All right, and then you release your left foot to the floor. Find solid ground. Become like a mountain pose. and then shift your weight over onto your left foot. Drive that left foot through the floor, and you're gonna draw right knee up in the chest. Okay, if this feels okay, you stay here. If you'd like, bend your knee and straighten it out. And you might just bend it a little bit. You might sort of test the metal of your quad and go down a little further. But all the while, you are noticing the way the leg adapts to the movement through balance. So another couple breaths here. Okay, great. And then from there, place that foot down. Take a mountain pose, huge inhale. And exhale, bend your knees a little. We're gonna take a forward fold standing. So you can take your hands to your shins, thighs, or to your feet or to the floor. All right, yeah, and notice the warmth of your legs. Notice the ability for your legs to give you feedback about where your body is in space. And if it doesn't throw you off balance, notice the shift to where you are in space. Notice that focus as you close your eyes. So as we lose the visual field, we then rely on the balance feedback from the feet and from where we are in space. If that makes you feel a little bit dizzy, just keep your eyes open. And there's 2 more breaths here. Inhale. Big exhale. And one last time. Okay, great. And then you drive your feet through the floor. You can open your eyes if you'd like, or keep them closed as you come up. So you drive your feet through the floor. Lungs lift, arms can reach up overhead. Exhale, palms come through heart center. In by your sides. All right, and so for the last minute here, just kind of notice the information from your legs, the information from the soles of your feet about where you are in space. My hope is this feels like you have a much more exacting sense of self and you know where you are. Okay. Very good. So thank you. Hopefully that was a enjoyable, shorter practice. It really helps to focus standing on one leg, and it also warms us up. So if you have been sitting a lot, this is a good one to do as often as you'd like. All right. Thank you so much. Take care. Namaste.